Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Isabel, your spiritual rebel friend. I teach you astrology and practical application so that you can use it as a tool for self-development and manifestation. And today we're talking about Aries, Sun, Moon, and Risings, December of 2025 horoscope / end of the year horoscope. Because let's face it, December is a very hectic and exciting month for us all, but there can also be an undertone or underlying theme of feelings of crisis because we realize what we've been through this year, what we have and haven't accomplished, and so it can bring up a lot emotionally. And so this video today is meant to be your guide to how to use December as a month that is very busy, but as a way to start 2026 on the right foot and also feel better and more resolved about this year you've had. So in today's video specifically, I'm gonna cover where you've been, Aries, in 2025 as a quick summary to understand what you've been through this year, what December has in store for you astrologically, talking about the major themes of major transits going on for you and how they will affect you. And with all that, in each of these transits that are going on in December, what you should do, think, and act upon with each of these transits. Because again, this is all meant to be practical for you, used in application to help you develop who you are, grow as a person, and also live a life that you love. And if you want more support during this holiday season, wrapping up 2025, then I invite you to book a reading down below where in 30 minutes or 1 hour, I can be your coach and your friend, helping you find your clarity that you need to start 2026 off on the right foot. So first off, Aries, let's talk a bit about the past. What have you been through in 2025? Aries has likely experienced many changes, challenges, and stepping out of their comfort zone in regards to their work routines, health habits, and services. Many Aries, Sun, Moon, and Risings have probably experienced major changes in their health, their well-being, what structures their daily routines, and maybe even their work. This could look like having some form of change in their physical health or struggling with their physical health more. This could also look like many Aries, Sun, Moon, and Risings losing a job, changing jobs, or struggling to find work. And I say this as a fellow Aries Sun. Additionally, it may feel like some of the things that you use to structure your daily life, the things that dictated your daily schedule, have gone out the window in 2025. Have you experienced any of these things? Comment down below. You know, for me in 2025, this has played out as feeling like no matter how much work I put in as an entrepreneur, the more income I cannot seem to make. And so I've really realized over this year that more effort doesn't equal more reward. And this has caused a serious change into how I approach my daily routines. It's caused a lot of crisis. I'm still in the act of pursuing different work. And I think this is a story for many Aries, Sun, Moon, and Risings out there. Now, why exactly is this been the main storyline for you, Aries, in 2025? It's because the South Node has been transiting Virgo since the beginning of this year, January 11th. So this is the main storyline for you in 2025. And it also follows you into 2026, which is why I'm making this video today, because the story isn't over yet. Though you may feel like you're ending this year on a note of, I haven't quite accomplished anything or I haven't quite wrapped anything up, you may feel like you're in a bit of this waiting zone. It's because this story isn't over yet. With the South Node in Virgo, the North Node is also in Pisces. So maybe on the positive, some of the wins you've received over this year is better mental health, feeling like you have greater control over your mindset or your beliefs. Maybe you've addressed deeper wounds, deeper negative beliefs that needed to be uprooted and released. Maybe you've come to a greater place of faith, trust, or surrender. Maybe you've come to enjoy and understand the need for solitude more. Maybe you've become more contemplative. Maybe you've created greater impact through doing less, doing though with more intention. If any of that resonated for you, know again that this storyline's following you into 2026. So let's talk about what is coming up for you in December, how it frames this whole major storyline regarding the South Node's transits, and how you can use this as a way to start 2026 on the right foot. First off, we have a strong dominance of Gemini and Sagittarius energies in December of 2025. We will have Mercury, a full moon, a new moon, the sun, Mars, and Venus in these two signs throughout the month. Mainly Sagittarius energy, but given that we have a full moon in Gemini, we have this axis activated. And for you, Aries, this is all about your knowledge and your communities, where you find your sense of your known bubble versus stepping into the unknown. This has to do with your local community where you just feel that you belong and are accepted and are part of a simple little structure, and also your great meaning of life. This is you enjoying small talk and asking big questions to yourself. So with this axis activated in the month of December, how this relates to you and what it really indicates is that there is an encouragement and a focus on cultivating your daily network, your local environment, your local community, and asking big questions and thinking about the vision of your life. For many Aries, this South Node in Virgo has created a feeling of crisis over this year about how you interact with your daily life. Maybe you've been specifically struggling with health or maybe with work, and it feels like this question's unanswered. And December invites you with this Gemini Sagittarius energy to think about broader visions for your life and focus on your network in smaller doses to find that answer. It may feel like you cannot find the answer to what you need in your health, your habits, your routines, your work and services, but this Gemini Sagittarius energy says that the best way to start finding that solution is focus on your big visions, especially because Mars, your ruler, Aries, is here. So focusing on acting in a way that is in alignment with passion, excitement, expansion, projects. These could all be good things to take on during this time. Sagittarius energy encourages projects and visions. So if you have a passion project, something that specifically aligns with your personal beliefs and ideologies, that's going to be something you want to pursue. This could also be a time where many Aries, Sun, Moon, and Risings want to pursue learning more about their personal ideologies and leaning more into their ideologies, whether that is simply of going on a specific diet. This is an example of an ideology. It's a personal belief, a personal structure that you believe you should live by. Or maybe this is enrolling in a spiritual or religious course to learn more about your life philosophies. Pursuing your ideologies, pursuing meaning, and getting a broader scope on your life is what is invited and encouraged. And not only to broaden your own view in your own personal passion, in your own personal time, but also being more immersed in your community. Because we're going to have a full moon in Gemini, you can expect to feel like there's some form of fulfillment, revelation, realization, culmination, and possibly an ending related to your local network. Who are you surrounded by on a daily basis? My intuition says that many Aries, Sun, Moon, and Risings could be experiencing some form of spotlighted effect, metaphorically or literally, in their community during the Gemini full moon. Partly, I say that because I notice my own local environment, the things that are coming up for me. Already, I can feel an invitation as we near the beginning of December to be more seen in my local community for my knowledge, for my information, for my curiosity. This is you being highlighted for your mind, Aries. So being in the spotlight, being in the limelight, letting yourself be recognized by your local environment, your local community, whether that's digital or physical. So it could be your neighbors, your local bar, or it could be more of your social media following. You're wanting to be recognized here. So focus on sharing, focus on your local community, and focus as well on your personal beliefs and ideologies. Asking yourself, how can I act in alignment with what brings me meaning in life? And how can I lean into my personal beliefs? Additionally, we are going to have quite a bit of Capricorn energy, especially in the second half of December, when on December 21st, we have our winter solstice and Capricorn season begins. We are in the darkest period of the year, and Capricorn season metaphorically reminds us that in order to deal with darkness, we need discipline, structure, and alignment with our goals. We oftentimes, when we're in those dark moments, we can feel like we want to give up, be defeated, and especially for Aries, this can be a very challenging time for them where they feel a lot of tension because Capricorn energy is in a square to them. It is important to remember your goals. Specifically for you, Aries, this is your season of focusing on your professional goals. Again, actually, recognition is a theme here, because the 10th house, which is activated for you, is all about recognition. So this is about you asking yourself, what are my goals around recognition? What are my goals around success? What are my structures I need to gain success and to gain recognition? With the Sun, Venus, and Mars specifically being here, Mars being here in the second half of the month. And if you want specific dates on all this, be sure to check the timestamps down below where I put more specific dates. But you're wanting to move through life in a more disciplined, structured way. So in the first half of the month with Mars in Sagittarius, this is more of your exploration mode, Aries. And then in the second half of the month, this is where you're wanting to hunker down and focus on accomplishment. It's very important for Aries to set mile markers for themselves or milestones so that they know what their achievement looks like. Additionally, this can be a time where you're receiving recognition for that which you already have done, because Venus is here accentuating beauty, love, and harmony, and the sun is here, which brings more light and illumination, and Mars is all about our talents. Maybe this is a season for you, Aries, to look back over the year and look how far you've come. Look at the mile markers you have put in place. Even if you are not at your full completion yet, maybe you're giving yourself more of a pat on the back for that progress, and others could be too. So this is a time for you to bring more structure and discipline into your life in regards to your success and recognition and your career. It is an interesting dynamic here for you to think about, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, because you may have felt like you're very conflicted in your work overall this year, your health, your habits, your work, your routines, your job, but your career could be shining through in the month of December. And this is something you're being encouraged to focus on to find the solution to what your work, health, habits, services, job is supposed to look like. Thinking about, focusing on, and letting yourself be illuminated and recognized for your success, for your authority. I could see many Aries taking on more authority in the month of December because Capricorn energy is all about your authority. Authority for being the best at something, being a success. This is the highest frequency, so to say, or the highest evolution of our material world. So what is it? Something material that you have excelled at. Putting your time and energy into that could be rewarding in December. For all Aries, I want you to remember one important thing, regardless of these two major themes of transits in December. All transits serve the North and South Node transits. The North and South Node are truly the major storyline for us. Think of it as like your life is a book series, and each book has certain themes. That book, that theme, that plot line for that specific book in the series is wherever the North and South Node is transiting. Simply put, this is the phase of life, in phase of development you are in. And so all transits circle back around to where the North and South Node are transiting. The North and South Node have been in Pisces and in Virgo this year, and they're gonna be here still in the first few months of 2026 until July. So the first half of 2026. So it's important to remember with all these transits to ask yourself, what have I evolved in regards to my relationship between action and rest, between doing versus thinking, versus changing the things I do versus changing the core beliefs, versus my physical health versus my mental health, versus how much I work versus how much I pause. What has changed here? And what changes could be still coming your way? I say this as a reminder because the story isn't over yet, and you have no idea how much more good is coming your way in this regard. And so all the transits I've covered for December of 2025, this Gemini Sagittarius energy and this Capricorn energy is meant to be your bite-sized dose of what you are supposed to be focusing on and what the stars are encouraging you to focus on to slowly find those solutions to these bigger questions and spiritual lessons that are being presented to you in a 18-month cycle. So let me know down in the comments below, Aries, did this video give you a good insight into what is coming your way in December of 2025? What has this year been like for you? Is Aries your sun, your moon, your rising? Be sure to check for all three signs. I'm gonna have hopefully this whole video series published, but if not, comment your sign down below. And also, if you are someone who is feeling overwhelmed, stressed, chaotic, or alone during this holiday season, and you're looking for more guidance and support so that you can rapidly manifest the success in which you seek, and also just feel more grounded and clear and have space for yourself during this holiday season, then I invite you to book a reading down below where in 1 hour we can go deep into your soul's unique energetic imprint and give you guidance to your life based off of your unique desires and your unique chart. Learn more about readings down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sincerely, I hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name's Isabel, and from my heart to yours, namaste.